Very good evening, all of you. Hope you all are doing well. Let's start with today's session. Quick recap of yesterday's session. Yesterday we saw about data members, right? So there are two types of data member. One is class data member and instance data member. Then we saw that in Python, we can create an empty class. Then we can create objects, and afterwards you can add instance data members in it, right? So for that one demo I showed you yesterday, this was our program. We created an empty class, then we created two objects of it, and then in each object we added some properties. That is data members. These are instance data member. Why? Because they are separate for each object. For money, height and color is different. For kitty, height and color is different. So we added some properties in money, we added properties in kitty, then we printed it. Then what we observed in this program that there are two drawbacks. One, redundancy of the code. See, the same code for initialization is repeating for each object, isn't it? And the code for printing, that printing logic is also repeating for each object. So that is logic repetition, no reusability of the code. The code is not getting reused, right? So with that, all the subsequent drawbacks will arise. So redundancy, so no repetition, main code not elegant, not manageable, overall program size increases, bug fixing becomes difficult, modification difficult, so many things. And second drawback, that is no abstraction. Poor abstraction is there. Whereas object-oriented programming enforces on abstraction. Correct? So to overcome this, we discussed what? Adding methods. Correct? And then I told you what are methods. Methods are functions within the class. When you write any function within the class, it's called as a method. Only the difference is normal function you call directly. You don't have to call it in context of some object. But methods are called always in context of some object. Means you have to create an object and then in that object's context, you have to call that method. Correct? So what I'll do is now I'll show you how to add methods in the same program. Okay. See. So I hope this yesterday's discussion is clear. Here I showed you how to add methods, class name, def name of the method. And then I told you one argument that is self, which is compulsory argument. Name your choice. What name you want to give, you give it. Correct? But it's a compulsory argument, but it is hidden. We don't explicitly pass it. Correct? And after that, any extra arguments you want to pass, you can give. But this is one compulsory hidden argument, name not compulsory. But what is that self-containing? The reference of the object in the context of which that method is called. Meaning now, if suppose you're calling that method in context of object one, okay? Here, you don't have to pass that self. You pass these extra things. Whatever extra parameters are there that you pass. The self you don't have to pass. And again, if I'm calling the same method, I'm calling the same method, okay? Some different values I'm passing, but the object is different. So here what is going to happen? In both case, the method called is same. Same method is called. Code executed is same. Only the value of self is different. And value of self different, therefore it refers different memory. And remember, when you call that method first time in context of O1, that O1 is hidden past, and that will come in self. So first time, what is self going to contain? Reference of O1. Second time when the same method called, but that time self will contain whose reference? O2's reference. So in short, self will contain whose reference? The reference of the object in the context of which that method is called. Understanding? Clear? Means this, now the method is called in context of O2. That O2 is hidden past here. Your parameters are shifted and this O2 is passed here. And that O2's reference will come in self. Whereas first time method is called in whose context? O1. That O1 is hidden past and that will come in self. Understanding? So both time the method called is same, the code run is same, only the value of self is different. And what does self contain that time? The reference of the object in the context of which that method is called. Now the method is called in context of O1. So O1's reference is passed here, guys, which will come in self. Now the method is called in O2. That O2 is hidden past and that will come in self. Understanding? I hope that part you are understanding. So name self is your choice, but universally Python community has accepted one common name called self. But they are saying it is optional. No, the parameter is not optional. Parameter is strict. Name is optional. Whatever name you want to give. I'll prove it. See here. OOP2 dot, sorry, 3 and 2. Okay. Now I'll create one class cat, but now I'm not going to keep it empty. Okay. Now I'm going to add methods. So I'll add one method for initializing this. This initialization logic, which was repeating, that I'll pick it and put it into one method. Okay? See, I'll call that method as def set data. Okay? And to that, one argument is compulsory self. Then next extra parameters you can give, like I'm going to give height over here. Okay? Then I'm going to give weight. Now, it's your choice what name you want to give. You want to give only H, only W, doesn't matter. Now, this height and this weight, which we are passing, these are parameters, guys. Therefore, they are local variable. They are local only to that function. So what I'm going to do, whatever values have come in that I'll just add it in this self object, runtime. Get it? And that's what yesterday we saw, no, guys? Yesterday, what we saw, we can create an empty class, we create an object, and then you can add properties in it. Can we add properties later? Same thing is happening within it. Within that self object, we are adding the properties. What properties I'm adding? Height. And I'm initializing it with height. I'm adding, okay, here instead of weight, I'll take color. Okay? Self.color equal to color. Okay? So what will happen? I hope you got it. This height property and this color property will get added in which object? Self object. And self object is going to contain whose reference? Just now I showed you. Self object is hidden past. But in that, whose reference will come? Reference of the object in the context of which that method will be called. So if this method is called for money, money.setData, kitty.setData. So that time tell me, if we are calling this money.setData and I'm passing 4.5 black. Okay, so tell me, is this money hidden past here? Yes or no, guys? These both are shifted, and who is in whose context this set data is invoked? Money. So money's reference is passed here, and that reference will come in self. So as I said, set data. Now you're calling in context of money object. So hidden that money is passed, and that money's reference only will come in self. So when it is adding height and color in self, Means in short, it is adding height and color in money only, because money's reference only is passed hidden over there. Understanding? No? And after some time, if I'm calling kitty.setData, I'm passing 6.2 white, whatever. Now again, see, the method called is same, setData. Values are passed. But now this setData is called in context of kitty. Therefore, kitty's reference is hidden past, and that will come in self. So that time self is containing whose reference?
Kitty.
Kitty. Therefore, it will add this height and color in which object? It is adding height
Same.
and color in self object, but that time self is containing whose reference?
Kitty.
Kitty's reference. So indirectly it is adding that height and color in kitty. Get it? So
Sir,
this way,
aren't we going to create an object here for money
yes, yes,
entity
we are,
creation?
yes, we are going to create, guys. Yet the class is not complete. We have to add some more methods. I just wanted to tell you about this self. Means I just wanted to
Okay.
give you the explanation about that self. Getting? So self is a hidden argument. It is a compulsory argument. Name not compulsory. You can give any name, but the argument is compulsory, and it is always hidden past. And what is containing in that self? The reference of the object in the context of which this method will be called. So if this method is called in context of money, money's reference will come in self. And if this set data is called in context of kitty, kitty's reference is hidden past in self. That's what I wanted to show. Get it? So whoever's reference has come in self, it will add this property in that object. So if self is containing money's reference, it will add height and color in money object. And if self contains reference of kitty, it will add height and color in kitty object. Understanding, guys, what I wanted to say? And with this way, what is going to happen? The code which you were repeating for each object is getting generalized written once only in the method. The logic is getting hidden within the method, and just you're calling that method in the main program. Main program will look more cleaner, elegant code. Okay. Moreover, abstraction is there. In main code, no logic is visible. The logic is hidden within the method. Understanding? So all that benefits. Now what I'll do is I'll add one more method, def meow, suppose. And to that also I'm going to pass one self. Meaning what this self will contain? The reference of the object in the context of which that method is called. Means in short, self contains the current object. Current object means that object in the context of which you will call this meow method. Self will contain the reference of the object in the context of which you will call set data. Getting? Now, no rule that you have to give name self. You can give anything. Inside this, I'm going to put one print statement, which we did here. The same print statement I'll add. Okay? Only with a difference. Instead of money, I'm going to write self. Instead of money, I'll write self. Okay? So this way, the logic of printing, I've put once only in meow method. Logic of initialization, I've put once only in this set data. Now in my main program, I'll create object. Suppose I'm creating money equal to cat. Now I hope that curiosity that he's directly calling money dot set data and money is not created. So Sohail asked, aren't we supposed to create object? So see, I am creating it. That time I just wanted to tell you the explanation about that self. I just wanted to tell what does self contain. Correct? So now I'm creating one object, money equal to cat. I'm creating one more object, kitty equal to cat. Okay, objects created. If we see it pictorially, so can I say one cat object means an empty dictionary is created and the reference is stored in money. One more object is created on hip and its reference is kept in kitty. Done. Still, they are empty dictionaries, yet the properties are not added in it. Okay. Now we are going to add that. But now I'm not going to do manually money.height equal to something, money.color equal to something, which I did it here. See, money.height equal to money.color equal to. This logic, I have already shifted it in this set data. I am just going to call money.setData and I'll pass the value 4.5 color white, suppose. Again, I'm going to call kitty.setData 6.2 color black, suppose. Now, can you see the main program? The main program is not revealing the logic. Logic is hidden within the method. Main program looks more cleaner, more elegant. You're just calling the method and you're passing the values. Tell me both the time is the same set data called. Both the time is the same set data called.
Yes.
Is the same code run.
Yes.
Same set data, same code run twice, but both the time is the value of self different.
Different.
Yes or no? Just you tell me yes or no. Both the time is the value of self different. So first time, is this money hidden past here? See, when you call set data, you're passing only these two values, height and color. You'll say, what about that self? That self is this one, which is hidden past. Set data is invoked in context of money. Money is hidden past, and that will come in self. So first time, what is self containing? Money is reference. Right or no? Self is containing money is reference only. Okay? So if you are writing self dot height equal to height, self dot color equal to color, self dot height equal to whatever, color equal to whatever. So these two keys will get added in the dictionary. So when we are adding in self, it is indirectly in money only because money's reference only has gone in self. Understanding, no? Hidden, money's reference only has gone in self. So when you're adding height and color in self, means it is getting added in money only. And second time when set data is called, tell me, these two different values, 6.2 will come in height, black will go in color.
Yes.
It is adding that in self, but is self same that time or different reference?
Different reference.
That time self is containing whose reference?
Kitty.
Kitty's reference. This reference is in self. So obviously self will refer to the same place where kitty. So when you are adding in self, height and color, it is adding in kitty only. How the technique, not see how intelligently they have made all these techniques. We are just learning and we are trying to appear for the exam and get the good job. That's all. Just imagine how these people have developed the languages and the mechanism, the system. Everywhere they have thought of all the optimizing thing. Unnecessarily, the code should not duplicate. Only the data should duplicate. Code should remain same. Only the same code will refer different memory. Getting? See, is the same code referring every time different memory based on self? It is like, see, this set data is like a driver. Okay, like big people होते हैं ना, बड़े-बड़े लोग होते हैं, Ambanis and if you consider Tatas and Birlas and all. So those people might be having a lot of drivers and they are so they're so qualified that they can drive any type of car. You give a limousine to them, you give a BMW, you give a Mercedes, whatever you give to them, they can drive. So the same way, this set data is saying, I can drive anything. Please give me the key. Whatever key you will give, I'll drive that. Here, the self is the key. So in self, if money's address come, it will access money's memory. In self, if kitty's reference come, it will access kitty's memory. Means in general, set data is saying my job is to access memory. Now whose memory? That you pass me. So from outside, if you pass me money's reference, I'll access money's memory. If you pass me kitty's reference, I'll access kitty's memory. I don't have any objection. I don't have objection that I'll access only money is memory and not kitty, or only kitty but not memory. It is generalized. It is saying my job is to access the memory, which memory that you pass. So see here in self, if money's reference come, it will access money's memory. In self, if kitty's reference come, it will access kitty's memory. That simple concept. Get it? And now if I call this meow, now I'm calling meow in context of money. Okay? And then I'm calling meow in context of kitty. So both time, tell me, is the meow method called same both the time? Is the meow
Yes.
method? Yes. But both the time, what is different?
Height and color.
No, but in general, tell what is different.
Objective.
Val means what is different? The value of
Safe.
self is different because self will contain the reference of the invoker. So first time meow is invoked in context of who?
Money.
So is this money hidden past?
Yes.
And that will come in self. So that time self is containing money's reference. So it will access money's height and color. But second time meow is called in context of.
Kitty.
So
Kitty.
is this right? So is kitty past hidden?
Yes.
Kitty's reference is hidden past, which will come in self. So that time self is containing kitty's reference. Therefore, it will print kitty's height and kitty's color. Correct? So try to tell it in generalized. So in main code, in the main program, is the redundancy gone? Repetition of the
Yes.
logic gone?
Yes.
Repetition of logic, the same logic which we were writing for initialization, the same logic which we were writing for printing. Are we putting that logic once only within the method? See, the
Yes.
printing logic once, initialization logic once. And then as many times you want to call, you can call that method by passing different parameters. Main code looks elegant. The logic is hidden. The logic has got hidden within the method. Okay. Manageable. If any changes are to be done, you only have to do at one place. The
Abstraction
changes
is
are,
also.
pardon?
Abstraction is also here.
Yes, means the logic has been removed from the main code and you have put here. So you have tried to encapsulate the data, the logic, everything within the class. Outside world is just creating the object and accessing the methods by dot operator. Get it? Okay. So I hope you're understanding this. Now, if I run this, there's no difference in the output, but the approach of writing program is changed, right? See, is it producing the output? First time it is printing
Yes.
money's data. Second time it is printing kitty's data. I hope you got it, right? So when I wrote
Yes.
money.setData, so this values come here in height color and in self what is passed? Money is reference. So therefore it is adding height and color in self. But who is self that time? Money. Therefore it will add height and color in money object. And second time when you're calling set data, kitty's reference is hidden past in self. Understanding? The same thing you can do it in a longer way also, which internally Python is going to do this way. See what I'm showing. Means when we write this way, actually Python is doing this way. See, cat dot set data money comma 4.5 comma white. With this, can you understand that this set data, the method doesn't belong to individual object. It to individual object only what belongs? Data. The methods belong to class space. See, you're calling cat.setData money like this. Means in short, when we write like this is our way of writing. Python is going to do it this way. Cat.setData kitty comma 6.2 comma black. And same way, when you are writing money.meow, kitty.meow, Python is doing like this. Cat.meow money, cat.meow kitty. Ultimately, it is coming in this style only. See, cat.meow money means money reference will come in self. And second time cat.meow kitty. So kitty's reference will come in self. So whose reference has come in self? Its height and its color it is accessing. So that time if self is containing money's reference, it will print money's height and color. If self contains kitty's reference, it will print kitty's height and color. Means internally what is happening, you're understanding, guys? If you are writing like this,
Yes.
Python is converting it to like this. You are writing money.meow, Python is converting to cat.meow money. Means indirectly this money is hidden past in that self. And name you can give anything. I'll try to I'll change in one place. Instead of self, I'll give some another name. Still, it will produce the output. See, it will do it 2 times. The same thing we have done, money.meow, and here you have done cat.meow money. So in this case, money is implicitly passed. Getting? So with this, do you observe that methods, the data is there in every object, but the methods are kept once only, that set data method, then the meow method. They are not repeated for each object. For every object, only what will be repeated? The instance data, height and color, height and color. But the methods code is kept only once in the memory. In whose space? Class space. That class will also take space, one copy. Correct? And in that class space, the methods are kept. And the data is kept in individual object space. You understanding, guys, what I want to say? That your class space, this is the space given for your class. So in that, the space for set data, the space for meow, okay, once only they'll take space. Set data will take space once, meow will take space once in the class space. And who are getting duplicated? Objects data. Like if money is created, its height color is separate. Kitty created, its height and color is separate. But how this set data knows that I have to access money or I have to access kitty? Let's see, common sense. How that set data knows that now I have to access money or now I have to access kitty. How that meow knows now I have to access money or kitty. Because this set data in meow is only once. That's why I showed you, internally Python will call it in that class context only. See, cat.setData, cat.meow, and that object is passed here. So tell me how that setData knows that now it is supposed to access money's reference or kitty's reference. Very simple reason. Because of only one thing it knows. I gave an example also of drivers of Ambani and Tatas and Birlas and Mahindras and Infosys, so many. Always remember big names because you should keep goal that I have to get entry into such big MNCs and I want some big packages. And then after a few years, I should be at their MD levels or in their VP positions. Manifestation you have to do. Okay? So I gave an example. I said, driver knows to drive anything.
Yes.
Huh. So it says, just pass me the key. Whatever key you give, I'll access that car. So here also, what is the generalized thing passed?
Set data.
Loudly, loudly. Huh. How set data knows I have to access money? How set data knows I have to access kitty? How meow knows now I have to access money's reference? I have to access kitty's reference. Very simple how it is taking so much time to answer just by one thing. No?
सर आपण ऑब्जेक्ट दिलेले आहेत ना मनी डॉट सेट डेटा म्हणून तो मनीचा
हो, but here you have given money, but that function doesn't know it is money or kitty. It is having one generalized name through which it is
When
accessed.
self
सेम
Then that's what I wanted to ask. Here it is okay that you have called in context of money, here you have called in context of kitty, but that set data doesn't know that now I am accessing money's reference or kitty's reference. Set data is saying whatever has come in self, I'll access that memory. Self में क्या आया है, मैं वो memory access करूंगा. So now here see, you have called set data in whose context? Money. So money's reference is gone in self. Right or no? So in short, these functions, how they know which memory to access on the basis of one hidden argument, compulsory hidden self. Getting? So whatever has come in self, it will refer that memory. So in self, if money is reference, it will access this memory. In self, if kitty is reference, it will access this memory. While accessing, it is not knowing whether it is money or whether it is kitty. It is just saying whose reference I'll go that memory and access it. उसको ये पता नहीं है वो money है या kitty है. Understanding or no? Means वो ड्राइवर को ये पता नहीं है कि ये मेम साहब की कार है या ये भाई साहब की कार है या ये हमारे बड़े साहब की कार है. की हाँ मे बी उसको पता होगा, but I am talking in general that the key has come. What key has come? It is going to access that car. So यहाँ भी वैसे ही है. Set says what reference has come in self, I'll access that memory. So self is very important. Correct? So we will be talking more about that self in the next slide. And then we will see some drawbacks are there in this program also and how we can overcome that drawback also. Okay, so I'll show you that too. See, we are creating class cat. Then we added one method set data. Self is a compulsory parameter. It is a compulsory parameter. Name self is not compulsory. It contains the reference of the invoker object, the object which is going to invoke it, or the object in the context of which you are going to call it. So in whose context you are going to call, that object's reference only will come here. Understanding? So I have stored in self height, this height, what is passed, in self color, this color. Then one meow method in that we are just printing that self height and self color. Then we are creating objects of it. Then for money, I'm calling set data. For kitty, I'm calling set data. So tell me, when you're calling set data for money, is this money hidden past?
Yes.
And that will come in,
self.
right? So the same reference which is passed here, money, that will come in self. So in short, will it add height and color in self? So in short, it is adding height and color in whom only? Money only. Because that time money's reference only is passed in self. Right or no? See here, money is referring to some memory. Initially, it is a empty dictionary. Now here hidden money is passed. So money's reference will come in self. So self will contain the same reference. So is self going to refer to money's memory only? So when you are writing self.height, self.color, indirectly it is getting added in money only, no? Because both are referring to the same memory. Next time when you're calling set data, kitty object is created, no doubt. Your kitty object is created. Reference is in kitty. But when you call set data, you're passing two values. Here hidden whose reference is passed? Kitty. So that time self will contain kitty's reference. Therefore, self will refer to kitty's memory. And then self.height, self.color. Self is here now. So here it will add height and color. Understanding or no? तो सब कुछ कमाल किसका है?
Self.
Now you have understood. Means the whole role player, इसमें सब कुछ role play कौन कर रहा है? सबसे important entity क्या है? Self.
Well,
So with the help of self, that method knows which memory to access. Understanding? And self contains whose reference? The reference of the object in the context of which you call that method. Getting? So this is our style. This is object-oriented style. Internally, is Python going to do like this? Cat.setData money 4.5, cat.setData kitty. So with this, does it prove that setData doesn't exist separately for each object? Means what I want to say, what is only duplicated? Are the methods also duplicated for each object, or for each object only data is duplicated?
only data.
And methods exist how many times?
Only once.
In the class space. क्लास का भी एक स्पेस रहेगा तो उसमें एक ही बार set data meow रहेगा. And as this set data and meow is in the class space, you can access it via class name cat.setData, cat.meow. But to that, the hidden reference is of money or kitty. Therefore, it accesses money's memory or kitty's memory.
Yes.
Understanding no? The technique. And same way now I'm calling money.meow. I'm calling kitty.meow. It is printing money's data, kitty's data. Same thing, can I do cat.meow money, cat.meow kitty? I showed also here. Getting? See, cat.meow, cat.meow. I hope you got it. Right? And if you want, I'll show you in this program only. For meow, I'm not writing self. I'll take some another name, me, suppose. Okay? And here I'll change it to me. And here also I'll change it to me. Does it make any difference? Will it make any difference? Instead of self, I'm writing me. Instead of
No.
me, I'm writing current. Instead of current, I'm writing this. Doesn't matter. See, it is going to do this way. No? Cat.meow money. Money's reference will come in me. That's all. Okay, but in Python, it is so flexibility. In Java, C++, it is strict this. This he hai. And in Java, this thing you don't have to write. Compiler inserts it. There also you have that this concept, a hidden argument, but we don't write. Compiler introduces. Here we have to write it. Correct? So they go for meow, I've changed self to me. Doesn't matter. Money.meow, kitty.meow. Now meow is invoked by money. Money's reference will come in me. Second time meow in context of kitty. Kitty's reference will come in me. Only that is the difference. See, if you run this, doesn't make difference. It will give you the same output. Getting, no? So, few things about self I told you. If you remember, can you tell me? If you remember few things about self, like you can tell me, what does self contain? Is the name compulsory?
No.
Is the
Yeah.
don't
No.
get
No.
confused. Don't
No. The
again
name
get
is
see.
not compulsory. Like we can keep any name for the instead of
Yes,
self.
yes. Instead of self, you can give any other name. Like instead of self, you can give this, you can give me, whatever. But the parameter is compulsory. That
Yes, it is.
parameter you have to pass, name your choice. Okay? And what does it contain? Or
Self contains the reference of object in the context of which method called.
right, you're absolutely right. That in the context of which that method is called. In which object context you are calling, that object's reference only is present in self. In short, self contains the invoker
Current
object's
object.
reference or the current object. And is it hidden past?
Yes.
We don't have to pass it explicitly. It will get hidden pass. Get it? So many things to tell. I hope you got it. Right? See. Similar to this pointer in C++ or this reference in Java. If you know these languages, otherwise leave it. Now I'll just try to explain the same thing which just now I told you. Tell me the method set data, the method meow. Will these methods also take space? Obviously, they also will
Yes.
require some space, right? But tell me, where are they going to get the space? In each object, are they duplicated or only once within the class space?
Only
once
once.
within the
Only once.
Once only in the class space. So in the class space, your cat class also needs some space in the memory. So in the class space, once only they are going to get memory. But who are going to get separate memory?
Data.
Very good. Data means you are listening me carefully. I'm impressed. Getting carefully you are listening. Data. Data is going to get separate memory. And separate means where? In individual object space. Object means instance. Means as many objects you create are every object, as many objects you create, are every object going to have its own data called as the instance data? Because they want to maintain their own state. Money wants to maintain its own height, own color. Kitty wants to store its own height color. Piku wants to store its own height color. Boka wants to store its own height color. So all of them wants to store their own height color. So can they be shared? No. They have to be kept separate. So that is called instance data, which is in the object space, not in the class space. Understanding? But as these methods are once only in the class space, how the methods know I have to access Money's memory, Kitty's memory, or Piku's memory, or Boka's memory? Very
Using self.
simple. Using
Self argument.
self. Thus, you understood using self. This is one thing which is hidden past, and in this, whose reference is coming? The reference of the invoker or reference of the object in the context of which you are going to call this method. So if you are going to call this in money's context, money's reference. Money's reference, it will access money's memory. If you are calling this in kitty's context, self will contain kitty's reference, it will access kitty's memory. जैसे दिमाग लगा के किया हुआ काम है ना? They are not duplicating the date method. They are saying only the data is to be duplicated. Why to duplicate logics? Logic, keep it once only and make the logic such that, make that logic generalize such that it can access different memories depending on that hidden argument, which that hidden argument is self. Correct? So here what I want to say, money, its data, kitty, its data, but the method are once only. Okay? So they are knowing which memory to access on the basis of self. Okay? See, when you write money.set data, internally, is this money hidden past here? These two things are shifted and money comes here. Means ultimately they become three argument only. 4.5H read in C and this money hidden coming in cell. Right or no? See, now self contains the reference of money. And now you're calling set data in whose context?
Kitty.
So now in this case, self will contain
Kitty's.
Kitty's reference. I hope you got it. So here the explanation is as many objects you create, चाहिए उतने objects बनाओ. Only the data is duplicated, not the methods. Methods copy remain only once in the class space. Is it clear?
Yes.
So as many objects you create, only instance data is duplicated, not method. Method copy exists once in the class space. But the method knows which memory to access because of self. See, methods are able to access instance data of object with the help of self. right or no? So set data knows I have to access this memory or this memory with the help of self, right? And self contains whose reference? Invoker. So tell me, here set data. Who is invoker? Money. So money is reference come in self. Now set data. Who is the invoker? Kitty. So Kitty is reference is passed. That is, it contains reference of current object which is invoking that method. Current object is Kitty. So Kitty pass. Current object is money. So money pass. Self is always implicitly passed. You don't have to pass it explicitly. Right or no? It is hidden pass. That is, it is a hidden argument to every method. And name self is not compulsory. You can give any name, but that parameter is compulsory. Yeah, you have to give that parameter. Understanding? No? The parameter is compulsory. The name is your choice. You can give any other name. Therefore, it should not be confusion. Therefore, strict languages like C++ or Java, they also pass it hidden, but the control is not given to us. They say we will pass hidden. They have not given a choice to us to give what name. They say strict, the name is this only. Means what happens in those language, you don't write this. You write set data HC. Compiler will make the change and compiler will pass one this year. Means that facility is not to the programmer. Internally, compiler only passes that hidden and the strict name is this. Here it's not like that. Here you have the choice. Correct? So I hope that concept is clear to you guys,
Yes.
right? So in this program, some advantages you might have seen, that redundancy gone, that is the repetition of code is avoided. Can you see the initialization logic? We just shifted it to set data. The printing logic, we shifted it to meow, right? So redundancy gone, repetition of the logic gone. Therefore, reusability is there. You are reusing the code as many times as you want. Get it? And clear and elegant code. Your main code looks more elegant. You're just creating objects and dot calling the method. You're not bothered about what is implemented inside it. You're creating the object, you're calling the method, taking the benefit of it. As I said, you have purchased the car, you're taking the benefit of it. Why worry about what is happening inside? Right or no? Enjoy karo. Buy the car, then ignite it, gear में डालो, accelerate and घुमा के लेके आओ. Why bother what is happening inside that car? So all the things are kept elegant. And when you buy, the car looks elegant to you, no? Because for us, only the outer things are visible. All the implementation parts are hidden inside it. Correct? So clear and elegant code. Abstraction achieved to some extent, right? But still, there is some drawback in this logic. There's a lot of disturbance from my side, but every time complaining, they have become what we say, shameless. They have become shameless. Every time I complain, nothing happens. So just 2 minutes. Demerits. Now, what is demerit in this program? Okay, I'll quickly try to tell you within 2 minutes, and then to overcome that drawback, there is a concept called constructors. Okay, so what that drawback is, when you create an object, okay, suppose you're creating object Piku equal to cat, and you forgot to call set data, means you forgot to initialize only properties to this Piku, and you are directly calling meow for Piku. If I'm calling meow method for Pico object, understanding what will happen? It will generate an error. Pico.meow. Inside there is this Pico will go in self. Then inside we are having print statement in which we are printing self.hide self.color. So when it is trying to print self.hide self.color, it will give you an attribute error. It will say there is no attribute height and color in this Pico object. Why it is? Because you forgot to call.
Set data.
Very good. Means before this, we were supposed to give some initial data to this Pico object. Means we forgot to call Pico dot set data and pass something so that Pico will get that initial property, height, color, and then you can print it. So you forgot to do it. So that is the problem. So what we want is there should not be explicit need to call set data. Getting the same work which you have done in set data should get automatically executed when the object is created. Means what I'm saying, it should guarantee that when the object is created, that time only it will get the initial data. No need to call that set data explicitly because by mistake, sometimes by mistake, if you forgot to call set data, and you're directly calling meow. Is it giving an attribute error? Okay, so such problem only should not arise. Means we can say in real life, the baby is born and then you're dealing its naming ceremony. We call it as Barsha. Barsha in Marathi, we call it as Barshacha Karyakram. Getting Namkaran Karyakram hota hai na? So we are just delaying. So that should not happen. What the technique should be, the moment baby is born, immediately within some days, strictly compulsory the naming ceremony should happen. Getting? So same way, the moment object is created, immediately at that time only, strictly, that object should get some data, initial data. So that accidentally, if you forgot to call that set data, that problem won't arise. Getting? And that you can do it means when the object is created, that time only here I'm passing its height, its color, so that it guarantees when the object created, immediately it is going to get the data. No worry about calling set data. Means set data call करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. Understanding? It will assure that when the object created, that time only it is going to get what? That time only it is going to get the initial data. Understanding? And that you can do it by one technique called constructor. Okay, so see here, object initialization function. Who is the object initialization function in our class? Very simple, just now I was telling about it. Who is the object initialization function, which is giving some initial properties to your object? It should not take much time. Quickly. Which is the object initialization function in my program, in this program? From these two functions, which is the function which is giving some set data? Yes or no? So that's what I said. Are there many methods to decide? No, दो ही है, उसमें से common sense है. Set data is giving the initial property to your object, right? So who is the object initialization function in our class? Object initialization function, set data. And unless and until you call set data, will the object get any initial properties? No. Means you have to call it. That's what. It is to be called explicitly. Okay? And if you fail to call it, गलती से अगर उसको कॉल करना भूल गए, and if you try to do some other work, it will give you attribute error. Fail to call initialization function generates attribute error. Quickly, I'll show you. See, you're creating one more cat object called Piku. Initially, is it an empty dictionary? It doesn't have any properties in it. Then we were actually supposed to call piku.setData, but I forgot and I directly called meow. And inside meow, in print statement, you are writing self.height. That time self contains Piku's reference. है ना, इन्वोकर का रेफरेंस जाएगा ना हिडन, हु इज द इन्वोकर, पिकू, तो पिकू का रेफरेंस सेल्फ में गया, तो self dot height, but in self there is no property only called height, and it generates attribute error. Get it? See, quickly within 2 minutes I'll show you. Take it 2 minutes and we will stop for today. See, I'm creating pico equal to cat, and directly I'm calling pico dot meow. Okay? See, and we are running this. Is it giving an error? Attribute error. Cat object has
Yes.
no attribute height. Because what is happening? Pico.meow. So tell me, in self, whose reference will go?
Who-
Pico's reference. So inside we are writing, now self means me here. So me is containing Pico's reference. So Pico.height is not there only. गया ही नहीं क्योंकि set data ही call नहीं किया. If you have not called set data, how the height and color will go in Pico object? See, now this error will go if you call Pico dot set data and you're passing whatever 4.1, then gray. Okay. Now will the error go?
Yes.
And see,
Yes.
for Piku, is it showing 4.5 and gray? But the thing is, to initialize it, we are supposed to call that set data. What I want is the same logic, the logic same, but it should get executed automatically the moment object is created. Means जो logic हमने set data में लिखा है ना, वही logic execute होना चाहिए. But I don't have to call it explicitly with a dot. It should get called automatic the moment object is created. Object bana immediately set data call hona chahiye. We don't have to call it explicitly using dot operator. And that you can do it by one special magic method called constructor. See here. Quickly, object should get initialized immediately after it is instantiated. Instantiated means समझ में आया ना? Copy create हुआ. Here the copy is created. यहाँ copy बन गया ना cat class. तो immediately the moment copy is created, it should get initial value also. Means object बनते ही set data call होना चाहिए. You don't have to call it explicitly using dot operator. Get it? That is initialization function should get called. Who is the initialization function? Set data. That should get called implicitly the moment object is created. No need to call it explicitly by dot operator. And that is possible by one special function called constructor. This can be done by a special function called constructor, and constructors are magic method. Magic method means methods which you don't have to call explicitly.
Explicitly.
They get called automatic. So how to add constructor and all, that too I'll show you in the next session, guys. Okay, I took little more time. And one more thing I have to just tell you, tomorrow is festival. So actually tomorrow there will be holiday. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just give you some recording, some part not related to this, some topic which if you get time, go through it. Okay, some topic which you can cover, some such topic which you can cover on your own. That topic I'll just share, and within 3 days you can go through it. Okay. And next session we will continue with here only. This constructor and inheritance and all that part I'll cover in one session, so that we can start with NumPy technique and all those. Okay. But some topic which you can cover on your own, that I'll try to give you. Okay, guys.